Okay, here we are. Once again, this is video 7 of a series that we're doing on Fair Debt Collection by reading the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This is section 1692F in Title 15 and FTC document section number 808. Once again, these videos are not to be taken as legal advice. They are for educational purposes only. I am not a lawyer, nor am I an attorney, nor do I want to be one. But the responsibility of the law is ours, and we need to learn the law so we can use it to our advantage. Okay, we're going to get started here. 1692F, Unfair Practices. A debt collector may not use unfair or unconscionable means to collect or attempt to collect any debt. Without limiting the general application of the foregoing, the following conduct is a violation of this section. Number 1. The collection of any amount, including any interest, fee, charge, or expense incidental to the principal obligation, unless such amount is expressly authorized by the agreement creating the debt or permitted by law. Okay, so the collection of any amount unless such amount is expressly authorized by the agreement creating the debt or permitted by law. So if they put in any kind of fees, punishment fees, or handling fees, the credit agency, that's not allowed. That's unfair practices. If they tack on any sort of special interest or penalties, that's unfair and a violation of this section. Number 2, the acceptance by a debt collector from any person of a check or other payment instrument post-dated by more than 5 days, unless such person is notified in writing of the debt collector's intent to deposit such check or instrument not more than 10 nor less than 3 business days prior to such deposit. If they accept a post-dated instrument of any sort, they need to give you written notice of when they're going to deposit that. Number 3, the solicitation by a debt collector of any post-dated check or other post-dated payment instrument for the purpose of threatening or instituting criminal action. There's a lot of stuff around out there about post-dated checks being illegal and that sort of thing. Mostly a post-dated check is going to be a private situation, but if a debt collector talks somebody into giving them a post-dated check and then turn around and try to threaten them or with criminal prosecution, then gee, that's a violation of this section. Number 4, depositing or threatening to deposit any post-dated check or other post-dated payment instrument prior to the date on such check or instrument. There again, if they've got a post-dated check, they must have had some sort of an agreement, and it would be unfair for them to deposit it before the date. The general rule of thumb, I would think, here is just not to send any debt collector any post-dated checks. Number 5, causing charges to be made to any person for communications by concealment of the true purpose of the communication. Such charges include, but are not limited to, collect telephone calls and telegram fees, and that would come under any kind of some sort of emergency excuse or something like that. Any time where they charge you to conduct their business, that's a violation. Even if you have a cell phone that you only have a certain amount of minutes every month, and they're continually calling your cell phone, that's a violation not only of the FDCPA but also of the TCPA, especially if you tell them that you do not want them calling your cell phone. Number 6, taking or threatening to take any non-judicial action to effect dispossession or disablement of property if A, there is no present right to possession of the property claimed as collateral through an enforcement security interest, B, there is no present intention to take possession of the property, there is no present intention to take possession of the property, or C, the property is exempt by law from such dispossession or disablement. In almost every single case, if it's just a debt collection, they don't have any right to take any property. The only time they get a right to take any sort of property is after they get a judgment in a court, and then they have a judgment to enforce that, and they're not the ones that are going to take that property. It has to be the sheriff. Okay, and you need to check your local rules, local state laws on all that sort of stuff. Number 7, communicating with the consumer regarding a debt by postcard. There again, that was in some of the other videos. A postcard that says anything on it, has any information about collection, has any numbers on it. It's just a bad practice for any debt collector to send a postcard, because it's a violation of two separate parts of the FDCPA. This section and another section on communications or unfair or deceptive practices, or it must have been the communication section. Number 8, using any language or symbol other than the debt collector's address on any envelope when communicating with a consumer by use of the mails or by telegram, except that a debt collector may use his business name if such name does not indicate that he is in the debt collection business. There again, they need to have on their envelopes need to be totally plain. If they have anything on them that might indicate that they're like involved with the government, or if they have anything on there that says anything like default services or collection or anything like that, that's a violation of this section, and that's worth $1,000 that you can bring them to court and sue them for, and usually get it. It's a simple thing. It's pretty simple. You got it. Open and close case. Anyway, once again, these videos are not for legal advice. They're educational, for educational purposes only. It's our responsibility to learn the law, and that's why we're doing these, so that we can help learn the law. If you want more information, please go to my website, creditforbadcreditforyou.com, and click on the links. There's a ton of information. You can learn how to get signed up for a free webinar. You can get free phone web archives, all kinds of stuff. A ton of information, and you can learn how people are making money by turning the tables on the debt collectors. Thanks. We'll see you on the next video.